Hello Taurus, welcome to my YouTube channel, Kia ora koutou katoa. I just want to first of all, as always, say thank you to everybody who has liked, subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I take this opportunity now to invite you to subscribe and also, you know, if you like what I do, give me a thumbs up or a comment, but also subscribe to my channel, and like now or at the end of the video. I don't know if I just repeated myself, but anyway, I think I did. So I'm just gonna, you know, pop that there. So there may be a little bit of distractions around you at the moment. So, or you may be feeling like there are some distractions that are around you. So anyway, I'm going to go right back to the beginning again. So there were some things that did come through, but I'll talk about those in a minute. So, yeah, just a reminder that these reads the general, so they may or may not resonate with you. So like I say, if you don't, you know, if it does resonate with you, that's wonderful. If it doesn't, then don't totally throw it out, because it may be more of a futuristic reading for you. So this is for January the 1st to the 15th in 2021. As we're moving into there. So you may already be feeling this energy, and that's fine, and it could be linking in with last week's reading up until the 30th, which is a couple of days away. So so this is Monday the 28th of December 2020 that I'm recording this reading, okay? Yeah, so check out what your other signs are. So this is for Taurus, and Taurus may be your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus sign for you. If you don't know what your other signs are, there is a link in the description box below that will take you to a website that has a free calculator on it, and it will work it out for you. Okay, so today we're going to be moving into doing a mind, body, soul, spirit, soul flow there. So in the recent in the recent past, and maybe more into that, and moving forward into the next couple of weeks, okay? So which will be the next row, and we'll see what comes up. We might go a little bit deeper and finalize something with the cards. So today I've got a few different cards that I'm going to be using. So as we go through them, and whichever one comes up for me to use, then I will talk to you about that one as they come along. So today, because we've got this new moon cycle that's going happening at, what's today, the 28th, so on the 30th, depending on where you are in the world. So I guess it's going to be on the 30th, but so we here in New Zealand, it will be the 30th. In others, in other countries, maybe, you know, on a different date. But anyhow, so I was drawn to do a little bit of a clearing and a cleansing before each sign that I'm doing. And you know, today I'm doing 3 today. So, and just to like clear the energy, because we're all doing, whether we know it or we're consciously doing it or not, there is some releasing of energies that we're doing. We're, you know, processing things as we're going along. So like with myself, you know, consciously releasing stuff, and there are some probably unconscious or subconscious stuff that I'm releasing as well with that as well. So that's why I say, whether we know we know it or not, we are releasing it. And some of people, that even those who are not really into this side of things, they will be releasing something, and probably more than what they realize. Anyway, this is for you, Taurus, and I feel like there was something in, like, there for some of you will understand that message for yourself. Like maybe you're not knowing what you're releasing, not fully, but on what. So just let that, release whatever it is. Whatever, even if you don't know what it is, it's just like be open to allowing yourself to not necessarily knowing what that is. So. Or not having to know what it is at the moment, because it will come to the fore at some point where you will realize something, and like maybe 2 days away, 3 days away, a week away, and it's like, oh my gosh, I noticed myself not doing that anymore. And you maybe just like that epiphany might just happen. It could be 2 months away, and you think, geez, actually, you know, or maybe even like right now, you may be realizing that actually I'm not liking this or that food, or this, you know, things are changing subtly, and some things for some people, both subtly and really quite drastically, you could say, not so subtle. So anyway, we're going to do the spread of mind, body, spirit, soul, and like I say, and we'll just get into it now. And I'm going to be using a variety of cards. So there. Let me see. So when I was actually doing, when I was like shifting into doing your energy, Taurus, and connecting in with your energy, I got, I'd actually run out of sage, so which is kind of like, I'm a little bit baffled, but I think I've left them at another place where I work at, the sage that I did buy. But I do have some dried rosemary. So when I got that, I had this little bit of a giggle because all I heard was witch. And so it was kind of like, so some of you may be like thinking this might be a little bit witchy like, this whole stuff and, side of things. And when I talked about the sage, it's like, yeah, there is, when I'm hearing witch, it's like, white witch, or it's just been, some of you may be a little bit witchy, as in bitchy witchy, and then some of you they're just talking about being, letting that witch is in the magic out within you, okay, and some of you may be having a little bit of jokes about witches and things like that, and some maybe calling somebody else a witch instead of a bitch or something like that, and there's something about a little bit of fun and humor about things as well, but honest, and then there's another energy that's there is a little bit more serious, as in using some of you may be seen as witches because of the work that you do, so remembering to utilize about self-care. I think that's where the energy is really going, is talking about self-care, and using whatever remedies, potions you know of, and could be more, the potions could be more, or the remedy may be, going to get a massage, or just having a bath in certain herbs or something like that, or aromatherapy oils or whatever it is, and maybe even Epsom salts, but just taking a little bit of time to take time out for you. So in the mind, body, spirit, and soul, this where we're going, these two cards fell out first. So this is the Voyager Tarot that I'm using here today, and the Three of Cups is about love. So there's a sense of, with the Three of Cups, about friendship. And, because in other traditional decks or other decks that I use, there's usually three people and they're sharing a cup of wine or water or whatever it is, a cup of liquid anyway, and a refreshment. And they're, and they're dancing around, but it's like cheerfully. So there's a sense of love, a sense of, I'm hearing even compassion, a sense of unity or coming together in some way. So, and it's where I'm hearing like, and there are like, we're three energies, three people, three where they're calling elements that I'm hearing come together. Even though, I'm hearing three elements that come together. So, but whatever it is, it's just like, like a triangle in that sense. And some, a triangle is what I'm hearing, not a pyramid, but a triangle. So there's three things coming together to forming a stable friendship, relationship, whatever it is, love, whatever it is, energy basically in there. So there's something that maybe you are going, in your mind, you're there, you're feeling it, you're thinking it, but emotionally, feeling like this is about taking some time for you to bring yourself together to share some love with yourself, okay? There may be more thoughts that are running through your feelings, more love thoughts running through now, with these thoughts that you are thinking are coming through, more feeling more love, basically, where they're going. That's where they're going. So there's something new coming with that one, because there's the Empress, and the Empress is all about basically fertility, abundance, and it's beginning something, okay? Beginning something, growing something from seed, basically, or being like the oven, basically. So I'm hearing like, seeing like she's pregnant in there, in this picture, or in all the others as well, but not always do you realize in the picture that, because you can't always tell or see that she's actually pregnant. So there's something, there's bringing new life into the world. So there's something about this new that's within you that you have, like in your mind, it's like bringing new life into the world. So it's maybe some of you may be more moving into that space now of shifting your thought patterns, maybe emptying out your head, so there's not so much running through your head, and taking some time out for yourself. So this is like expressing some love for yourself, basically. So then we're moving into the physical side and see what comes up through there. So, but you're moving, okay, the Eight of Wheels. So the Eight of Wheels is about money. So it may be something about money, there's something about change with money in here. So, because the Wheels is about Pentacles. So it could be about a change in family situation as well, or change in energy. So with the world. So it's like whatever the world is you want in this world, it's like something needs to change, okay? On saying that. So I feel like, you know, like physically change. So it may be whatever's going on in here, because this is about a new beginning, a new way of thinking, a new way of feeling, with the mind side of things, and to shift something. In order to shift something, whatever it is, to get to more, you know, peace, love, calmness, you know, harmony, joy, excitement and adventure, something needs to change. So that's where the Eight of Wheels is in there. So change, you know, could mean also, I think that's around about something about learning a new skill or something even as well, when I'm thinking about it. Actually, as I think, bringing it together now, and there could be something like the change. It could be learning something new. There may be something that you're needing to learn, not a new skill or something as well. So not necessarily as the energy, you know, talking about, you know, going back to university or something, or going to university or some sort of facility type like that. It could be that you are more like doing some your self-help work, so like reading books and just upskilling yourself in that way with knowledge and research about different sorts of things which would help you to, or short courses or something like that, or workshops and that sort of thing. It may be that. So anyway, then we're coming more into the spiritual side of things with your spiritual energy, moving into that. So as you're doing these in this phase, it's like things start to come together. I feel like it's like there's something like, even though there's a physical change, it could be that there may be a bit of feng shui that needs to go on within your home. It may be a little bit of feng shui with you, in the sense that of the maybe shifting the clothes that you're wearing, the colors that you're wearing. It could be that, like that's talking about here, about like doing some physical stuff and doing, you know, like it may be that you're it may be that you are about oh god, where they go, taking some time out. You just need to take some time out for you, and you know, and put some time out, put that in your diary, like this is my time, and commit to something with you. Because if you're not functioning, or if we're not functioning well, we're not going to be functioning well, you know, for ourselves. We're not going to be functioning well for our family, you know, and our energy is going to be lower, or just tired in that sense, because you're overdoing it. But a lot of it, I'm hearing something about your head and your thoughts as well. Because then here comes the Eight of Crystals with this so something is coming together. So it's like, as you're starting to make these changes and you're looking at these new beginnings and how you can do it, and making the changes so you can do it, the Eight of Crystals comes in here with some synthesis. So, you know, that's something coming together. So even though things may, you know, be a little bit all over the place, and it looks like it on this picture here, on this card, but it's like things maybe like that, but things are starting to come together. Okay, and then here we have the Magician. Oh, my nose is a little bit itchy here. It's not been itchy until I started doing this reading. So the Magician is here. So he's there to, you know, help, letting you know basically that this is about you bringing the Magician out, allowing yourself to come out. So maybe something, because it's just, my nose is like, I'm feeling like I just want to itch it all the time. So there may be something that's like peeing you off, or somebody that's irritating you in a sense, or something is irritating you. So whatever it is, I feel like it's back to something about making some changes around here. So it could be changes around the financial side that's coming through. So maybe that you need to tighten up your purse strings. Whatever it could be that you maybe a job that you're not you're not happy with at the moment. It may be something to do with that. There may be a change in that. Like there's something in here about doing something new. So whatever it is, there's something new coming, because you've got that already something in mind about where you're wanting to go and how you want to do it. Some of you may not be maybe already feeling or sensing that, but I kind of feel like there's some sort of something coming up there, a new change, something changing, something new coming in. But then because we have the eight of crystals here, the Eight of Swords here, and there's something that's coming together. Might not, in some, because it may be like looking, like I say, things maybe looking like they were falling apart before, and maybe they were, but something, before, like with the 6 and the 7 of crystals and all the swords, but then it's something is like starting to balance out and come together, and the Magician is here. So there it can be in the old deck. I just want to mention this too, because the Magician can also be seen as the trickster, and especially in days of old, and when these cards are, because probably I feel, in what has been explained to me, when you think about it, back in those days, they talking about the witch, side of things. It's like they would have been seen as witches, and so they would have been felt as a threat, because they may have been knowing something, or whatever, about that and that sort of thing. So there is that trickster side of things. But however, it's like I'm feeling, more. So this could have been in, we're back then. So this is kind of, it's not those times now, and it's like, so there's something maybe of the old that maybe have been getting in the way to, that in your mind that has stopped you from allowing you to be that and bring that magic out, or that Magician out in you. So when we're talking about the trickster, the other, continuing on from what I just talked about with the old, in days of old when these decks originally came out, and the Magician was seen as that too. There's also the side where talking about like not letting somebody on saying that get in your head about stuff, okay? Because sometimes there's that little trickster person or energy that is out there that can say something to put you off. So, or say something to, that... or do something, there's sometimes this, that sort of thing. So what I'm hearing is like, sharing things with certain people, yes, but sometimes we need to hold on to some of our own ideas and things like that, and what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be doing it, and they're right away from certain people. And there are other people where you can trust that you can share certain things and it's not going to go any further. And there is certain people that you can trust a lot with, and like it's not going to go any further. And some, you kind of know, and how in others where you just do not say anything. And it's not necessarily that all of them are going out to like, stop you, but it's the energy about maybe their negativity and what they may say, and it's like it plants a seed. So that's kind of where the other side of the Magician is. It's like allowing yourself not to be, distracted with that sort of thing, or taking on that energy, okay, or letting that get in your way. Awesome. So then we go into the soul side of things, and there's the Woman of Cups. I want to say Woman of Cups, but Woman of Cups. So the Woman of Cups is the Queen of Cups. So she can, be seen as, pretty, I'm feeling actually more so is on the soul level is like, in touch with her emotions and things like that. So in her intuition, it's like she's moved into this place of, of knowing more who she is and where her emotions are. So she's working on her emotion or stability and things like that, would coming back to this Three of Cups back here, and knowing where she is, and this Magician here. So it may have been that there was and this could be for like you, like this coming up for you, or more being more into it, some feelings of sadness, and also some emotional stuff that's come up where you've taken on other people's stuff. But it's just, I'm feeling like, but she's more in control of that. So and when she's more in control in a healthy way, It's not like she's pushing away stuff, she's processing stuff and releasing things. But it's just really and therefore her intuition and her creativity starting to open up. It starts to flourish more. And so therefore, the relationships with those people, who are around her are changing. So there's that sort of thing. So the soul energy comes through there with that, but also the Six of Crystals as well. So the soul, the Woman of Cups is about rejoicing, the rejoicer. So she's come to grips with her emotions and the relationships and that side of things and her feelings. So then we have the Six of Crystals, and there may be a little bit of, there may be a little confusion around you right now about how that works with, but that's, stuff in the mind, again, with the crystals there. But it's just confusion, so it's just allowing yourself to ground, because I've just been drawn to the red crystals in there, to ground yourself and not be too much up in the air. But I'm also drawn to the yellow in there, and there's the solar plexus, like the emotional side of things, but also the blue in there, and about communication, because that's what the Swords is about, isn't it? They're about communication. So with this confusion there, it may be that you're needing to ask some questions. But then the universe is here as well. So the world is, there, with the soul. So it's like there is a soul connection there, connecting with a soul, with your soul, with your soul energy, basically. And I just feel like there's something about forgiveness and that this whole new full moon energy that's coming in. So knowing and trusting that, and releasing, trusting that the universe is there, and it has been there before and it helped you before. Wow. But there's definitely some sort of movement there, and I feel like deep down you do know that there's something wonderful coming up, and then the universe is there. The world really is there. The universe is there. It's bigger than the world. It's more than the world. It's like, yeah. And connecting into yourself, and and healing some soul stuff. So we're just going to go more into like the now and see how that shifts into the near future, rather, because this is more in the now, in the recent past, and moving through the now. But and it could be like more for you that this is, well, not so much in the now, but this could well be for you, but more from around about the first next week. So but you may be already starting to feel or sense this, so that there's something shifting into there. I'm not really sure where they're going. But then we have the Man of Crystals. So he's, the man, the king of swords. So he's the inventor. So there's something moving, but he could be quite sharp and cutting with his with what he says and what else. So he's more in control. He's like a communicator, right? So he makes decisions, he asserts his power, but he's one that has, looks at things, fairly though, an authoritative sort of figure, but he means well, but sometimes he can be maybe a little bit sharp. It's the energy that I'm getting from here. But he asserts his power well. But he's also, he's the inventor. So there are lots of ideas and things that are coming in. He's bringing things together. He communicates really well. And this is where they're going back to hear about communication. I think that, I'm hearing about communication with you as well, with yourself and with others. Let's see where this is going to go over here, because then we have like the Death card. So something is transmuting, because even though this is coming up on the physical card, it's not necessarily that someone's going to die, but there's something, and maybe like there's some relationships or some friendships. It could also be something about like yourself, and that it's or around you, like could be like so for work, some friendship, something transmute. So there's a change in with the Death card coming up, and some things around you, and maybe how you do things or how people do things to you or give you or whatever. There's a change, because when we have the Man of Cups, so the Man of Cups is the king of cups. in this deck. So it talks about the surfer in there. So there's something shifting or moving emotionally. So the Man of Cups, like I say, is about the King of Cups. So, you know, there's something there about emotions. And I'm hearing more about that somebody is coming through with more in emotional space. So there could be an older male energy that's coming through that is, you know, a water sign that's there. But I do feel like this Man of Crystals here usually depicts an older energy and of a male energy, of course, with this one. So you like I said, this one is called the Inventor. So there's something, this male energy may come through for you. But see, that's in the mind or the mindset I'm hearing here with the Inventor here. So there's something there with ideas, this Man of Crystals. But the Death card comes in. It says transformation. So whatever there's going on, so there's something that shifts in your physical world. And it may be that it may be that you're requiring to be more in control of your emotions around that time and bring in this male energy of the Man of Cups. And because I'm hearing, like I'm seeing surfer, it's like you'll just go, you know, ride the wave, okay? That's what I'm hearing. It's just go with it and ride the wave of the emotion that's going to come up. Because it may be that there's a few things that are going up, and it may be quite emotional when you having, you know, when we make changes sometimes, because it's like, I want to do this, but I want to do that, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I feel like you're going to get some information that's going to come through, you know, from this, you know, processing here. And it's like, yes, I know what I'm going to be doing. So this is about being in control of your emotions, in the sense is like not letting, in the sense of allowing yourself to just go with the flow of the emotion that's there. So I know that sounds a little bit backward in coming forward, but around about face, you know, or contradictory, that's the word I'm really wanting to use, is, you know, when I say it's like, don't, you know, let your emotions get out of control. And then the next time, in the next breath, I'm saying, like, just go with the flow of the emotions. So I think most of you will get that. It's like there's a, you know, a time and a place when we need to say when, or how far, or what is this about. And it's like, and what I'm hearing is like, this is, you know, this is not on a level where, when I say controlling your emotions and not letting them or getting in the way, is making decisions based on an emotional basis. So it's being clear in your mind, basically. This is why it's really, or this whole processing is so, while sometimes we are emotional, we need to make a decision. Sometimes when there is an emotion going on, it's like, where do we sit? Where does that sit intuitively in our heart and is in our mind, you know? And it's finding that balance between that. And sometimes we just have to like just go with the flow of it, and sometimes that may be the decision. And sometimes the decision may be that I can't make a decision right now because of that. And other times it's like there is a decision that needs to be made, and you're going to take responsibility for that, because you know that you're going to be making this decision based on, you know, on logic, but also non-logic, you know, the intuitive side as well, where there is a sense of logic with it, but there's a balance to it, and you're not doing it on a fight or flight situation, you know what I mean? In that sort of sense, or just an impulsive decision, basically, based on all the, based on that sort of basis. So in that sense, I just didn't make sense then, but there's something that's slowing me down. So it's like taking your time with that, you know, and I'm just noticing my speech and my thoughts slowing down. So it's like taking time with that, not rushing it. And it's just, because often when we rush, we miss the certain things. So it's just like going, that's where they're saying it's just go with the flow, with the change, and ride the wave, okay? Beautiful. Because, you know, you've got this strength and this courage that's there, strength, and it's, you know, tapping into your intuition. You've got a really good intuition. You're very connected. So it's, you know, and there may, you know, yes, there is, you know, and there's a creativeness around it, but it's kind of like just, yeah, some of you will know what I mean. I hope. Okay, so the Ten of Wands comes through in the spiritual side of things with this growth. So from that, because you're like learning and discerning, there's more growth coming in. So the Wands is about action and something, there's something coming to an end. So it's like you figure something out on a spiritual level. It's like, So, and you took action and you've gone with the flow of things, and you've done some really been in your power, you've stood in your power, you've made some decisions. You're working with your emotions, you're figuring stuff out, you're releasing something that's in some sort of transformation that's within you, and which allows you to release stuff that's outside of you as well. But you're in this beautiful, whether you're a male or a female energy, in this beautiful, emotional, masculine energy in a way, but of being, of that sense of knowing as well as sense of where your emotions are and where you lie, and and how your emotions work. So there's a more of an emotional connection with you and also others around you. So what I'm hearing is allow others, certain other people around you that and that you can trust to help you with that, and you feel comfortable with as well through that situation. So the Ten of Wands is about taking action again, so with the wands, but something is moving. There's some sort of growth, so there's something transitioning there where you're transitioning, you've figured something out, and there's all these different things that were happening around you. You were carrying a lot of other people's stuff and holding a lot of people's stuff. Now you're moving through it. So I'm just noticing that there's something on my left nostril side of my nose now. So before it was more physical, on the right side it's like, whoa, now there's some emotional stuff that's shifting as well. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm allowing that to move. And then we have the Sage of Worlds, which is the same as the Page. So, and he's in, this one is in reverse. So the Sage is like the Page in other decks. So, and this is about the Pentacles. So it's in reverse for some reason. So, and it's Master. So there's something about, on a soul level, and maybe you haven't mastered something yet. So because it's in reverse, but I'm going to turn it around. So it's looking at mastering something, on a soul level. That's like you're still learning things, and that's pretty good, but you've got so far about what it is going, because then we have the Child of Cups here. So the Child of Cups is the same as the Knight of Cups, and he's the one that, in this one they call him the feeler. So that feeling the emotions and that then feeling love, because often he's been in other decks he's known as the lover that comes strolling on. And so there's a sense of being this love energy that's in you, that somebody or something or in a way, this love energy on a soul level is comes in, and it's like strolls on and shows you and it reminds you that you are loved, and you have been loved, and you are loved. And to feel and allow yourself to feel that feeling of love, and to share it with everybody, to bring that out. Because this young male energy here, the Master, and there's the Master, he's like, there may have been a little bit of a block in there where you maybe held back your emotions, so on a soul level is starting to come out, I feel, to help you to bring things together and shift into another phase of who you are. I'm just going to go to these cards now and just see what comes up, to see what we can clarify these overall. What is there for Taurus to clarify these cards here in the past, and in the now, in the recent now, and in the future? Okay. So I haven't actually said it, but in my mind I was thinking from January 1st to January 15th, 2020. So first of all, I want to go to the Sacred Clown. So there's something about new beginnings, because the Sacred Clown in this one is like the Fool in the other deck. So there's something about, I laugh at the game of life. And when he talks about laughing at the game of life, he's, seriously, he's like not being... thinking it's just all a big joke or anything, but it's like it kind of is a big joke in a way or something, but seriously, but it's just realizing that actually I'm just hearing because you know, when you take a leap of faith, and you take a step, and sometimes, and it is in the unknown, into the unknown often, you know, and that's what they took it so called, that's why it's called the leap of faith. And that's why we take that leap of faith and we go into something, and it kind of like not knowing, and that's where the anxiety comes in, or the fear, not necessarily fully of our own, but we've bought into something else, or from somebody else. So this, you know, the sacred clown comes in and he talks about, yes, I laugh at the game of life. So life is a journey, so we're never really going to know exactly what's going to happen. And whether we take a leap of faith into doing something that we don't know, that's where the growth is, okay? And we can always make another decision and take a leap of faith somewhere else. So in saying that, you know, when they talk about taking that leap of faith, you know, Spirit have just, you know, showing me again that, you know, really we could take a leap of faith into something unknown and to grow ourselves in that direction, or technically we're still taking a leap of faith by staying where we are with something that we do know. So that may or may not turn out how we would really, really like it to turn out anyway. So it's kind of like when we look at it that way, it's like, well, why not go that way? You know, it's like, or, you know, that sort of sense. So it depends on where we're wanting to go, if we're wanting something new to add on this. So what is the purpose? I'm hearing, you know, what is the purpose of going that way? To learn something new, to bring back to this path. And like, what I'm hearing is like, we could go that way. Then we could have 2 lots of things going on it. So, you know, or 3 lots of things going on. So then we come into like different directions of go. But it's like, okay, you're going to make a choice to go this way. And the way they're showing me with it, often when we go take that leap of faith, it's usually something where we need to go, where we're needing or we're drawn to go. But there is a bring that knowledge back to come back onto this path here. So some, you know, like there is like that purpose thing that people talk about, you know, like what is my purpose in life? And you know, Spirit has said to me many a times, you know, and it got me to explain it in the sense that we have many purposes in our life, but there usually is a running theme. And then on our journey, even though we don't really fully know in the beginning what our purpose is like, we have an idea. We have an intuitive feeling and a knowing that we want to go down this way, or this is what we like, this is what makes my heart sing, or whatever, or what I'm more drawn to. It feels more correct, you know, more right, and it feels, you know, better for me to be going that way. But we go this way and we learn something, and we end up going back onto it. We learn something there that feels right too. Where at this point here, it felt really right then, but then we go off and we learn something new. I mean, probably in my own personal experience and seeing others end up going this way. But there is you'll see, you know, coming back onto this path again, and it may be like take a few things to come back onto the main thing, but we all bring this stuff back into our kete of knowledge and add to it. And when because it's like they're just reminding me of me when it's like clicking into myself. It's like when I first started getting into this side of things many years ago. It's like, in learning about this sort of stuff, and you know, I went and did Reiki, and I'm thinking, you know, as being green back then, it's like, okay, this is maybe where I'm meant to be, a massage, and then I did a natural therapies course, and then I, you know, studied homeopathy, and you know, and I did practice all of those for a little while, but it kind of wasn't really where I felt like I did need to go down that way. But all those sorts of skills and abilities, they've come to me to be what I'm doing now. And you know, and it's the same, you know, with everybody in some way or form. If we kind of look at all the skills that we have with the many different types of jobs I've had, even, you know, like, you know, working with, you know, people in, you know, customer services, and, you know, truck driver and machinist, and, you know, working with all different walks of life. It's kind of, you know, when you look at it, the wider picture about the different skills and the abilities that, you know, that you've expanded on, those abilities that are natural, and you've learned new skills to add to those. It's like, you know, there is talking about the universe, it's bringing you all that knowledge there, and on a soul level starts to come through. So it's like, do take that leap of faith. I feel like I've just digressed, but it's kind of like just really expanding a little bit more into that one. So the sacred clown is here is like, you know, and like not so much, it's like laughing at it in the sense that, you know, actually I got this sort of thing. You know, I can do this. That's where I'm feeling that where they're going with that as well. So then we have the Queen of Swords. So she's like cutting through all the bullshit basically. So getting out of her head, Taurus. This is beautiful, and not allowing, you know, and it's because often, you know, when we can let people's thoughts come into our get into our head, it's like, okay, no, that's your thought, so you can own that, and I don't know where you're coming from with that, so explain it. But it's not not necessarily that you have to take it on, and so don't let it play in your mind. Release it. So then we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, hang on a minute, I forgot to read it back a bit. So I serve a noble cause. I think that says it all. That's where you're going to be in that grounding. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, which comes in here. So I have more than enough. So there may be, you know, I feel like they're just saying to you, yes, you'll get through this may be a little bit of a funny financial side of things, but you will get through it. Just hold on, because all these other cards in here are talking about abundance, shifting, moving with things, and that, and being more in your power, that sort of thing. This is about you. I feel like this is about, you know, you, whether you're a male or a female, is like being in, you know, walking your walk and talking your talk. I feel like it's about taking control of things, not just on an emotional space, but also on the mental emotional, of what you're thinking and how you're thinking and that sort of stuff. So you can do what it is that you need to be doing. See, look, here's the Ace of Wands. So there's a new course of action on one of, that's where they're talking about here. Then they're just saying here, this card talks about I am the catalyst. So, and that is so true. So you're walking and you're being in that space, and it's like a course of action, a new course of action, a new course of plan and direction, in the sense like the direction is like in the action, basically. It's like you're redirecting your energy, and you're taking control of things, and you're moving it. You're with passion, but also motivation, and to continue the momentum that you're already on. And there's a lot of new ideas and that sort of thing that they're coming through as well. So, but you are the catalyst, and you're the one that's going to make it happen. It's like with all of us, but I feel you start to more see that coming through now. Now, just see what else they've got in here in the Sacred Earth Oracle deck. Oh, efficiency. So I feel like you're quite an efficient person, and you may have let it slip for a little bit, but it's like getting back on top of yourself, because I feel like you maybe have felt a little lost a sense of yourself, or parked it up away. So to the sense that you've parked it up a little bit and longer, and it's like you may have lost the sense of yourself in a way of your because somebody else there, or some bodies are out there, and they're maybe and they're like, it's like I feel like for some of you, it's like if there's a share or a control, it's like in a situation where it needs to be for you, for some of you anyway, this is about you taking control. And this isn't like in a positive way, but it's like, if there's, you know, like shareholders, it's like, I feel like you need, or a lot of you may need, it would be good to have, suggesting like a 51% shareholder rather than the 49, because it's like, so you can get a bit more direction on where that you're needing to go with things, and having to do things to get things done. Because I'm hearing for a lot of you is you're like, you'll know who you are. Some of you are thinking maybe, oh no, that's not me, but inside of you, they're deep down, there probably is. But anyway, if you understand this, it's like you'll know who you are, and it's like you're about taking in, so you have that little bit more leverage, so you can like, okay, yep, I know I need to do this, this, and that, and you can go and do it without having, without having to, yes, you're going to need, communicate, but on saying that, it's like, okay, well, putting these ideas that it's like maybe you have the last say. And something, and like, so you can give it a shot. There's a sense of like a little bit more freedom, so you can have a bit more efficiency in there, because this is about efficiency, and to get things done. And it may be that inefficiency may be that you are making, or getting people delegating things and making, or getting other people to do things, basically delegating. I'm hearing making. You might actually have to make, some of you may be having to make some people do it. It's like or else, that's where that 51% shareholder to 49 comes in, or or 60-40 in your favor. Okay, so things can be run more efficiently, and yeah, okay, I think you get the picture. And now I just feel like I want to draw one out of the angels here, and this is Archangel Raphael. Here's something to say. Oh, new love. Okay, for some of you, there may be a new love coming into your life. Some of you may be already in a relationship, I wonder. I'm getting the feeling, and there may be a new love coming in. Now, some of you with that who are in a relationship, it's not going to be all of you, so don't freak the fuck out. So you'll know who you are. And some of you that you may be that person that's leaving that relationship in towards a new love as well. But others of you, I feel like there may be a sense of new love within a relationship, that you may have been like hammerhead or banging heads together, and it may be over the last, through a bit of stress and stuff like that. And it may be to do with something to do with this with working together in some capacity on a project or projects or something like that. But for some of you, others of you that are there, it may be that a new sense of newfound love. Okay, new love within the relationship, where it's like you, and like in some sense, even though you may not have actually left the home, there may be a sense of separation, or in a way. And some of you may have literally separated and actually realized and working on rebuilding the relationship or the love within the relationship. Others of you there who are single, there is something about a brand new love coming your way as well. So, which is cool. Okay. And some of you, it will be more sense that new love will be you on a personal basis, of you finding or loving yourself, just loving yourself for who you are, what you are, where you've come from, and knowing that you've gone into that space, that you can take that into and expand that new love, that feeling of new love within you out to others. Because, I'm just being drawn to, the cups, and that, there's that sense of love here, back here, and here. We've started with that, and we're going to finish with that. New love. So it comes back to you and that new beginning. So new love, new beginning. Okay, new love for yourself, meaning new love for relationships as well, in whatever capacity or form that is for you. It could be with family, it could be with your spouse or your ex-spouse or your children or whatever. But something is shifting into that love-based energy. Beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there now, Taurus. So I hope that helps you with this little bit of a journey over the next couple of weeks as you move through it, and and shifting through that. So whatever's going on for you. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment and or a thumbs up, and we'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks. Okay, bye for now. And I leave you with lots of love, peace, harmony, and joy. Joy, excitement, and adventure. Also, in prosperity and abundance from not only me, but my amazing spiritual team as well. Okay, bye for now.